Hi guys, today's video is for realtors and maybe home buyers. Basically, I want to tell our story. And so we have a home inspection company and we've been inspecting homes for almost 10 years in upstate New York. Last year, we moved from upstate New York to St. Augustine, Florida. And we were looking, we're still looking to buy a house. And last year, when we met with our realtor, that we basically don't know her, she was just recommended by some other realtor. We told her what we're looking for, but we didn't quite knew exactly what we're looking for either, because
we weren't focused.
Well, we weren't focused, but also market right now in St. Augustine, Florida is very, how do you say it? Overrated.
It's inflated.
Inflated, yes.
So
yes.
what happened is, just a quick recap. I think everybody moved here during COVID, and they paid any price. In fact, way too high for what the homes used to be worth here. And so now that demand petered out, people moved back home, or I don't know, there seems to be like a cycle. So there are just so many homes available, but the prices are still too high. There is a downward trend in the price, but
Yes.
it's not exactly where we think we're going to get a proper return on investment over time, because the trend has been going downward, and I don't think it's going to go back up to the degree where it was. So we were not sure what we were looking for. Is it a home for us to live in? Is it a home for investment where we're going to do Airbnb? Is it going to be a home for Airbnb, and just in case, it's got to be big enough in case we want to move into it? So It's a lot of criteria that we put up on the table, and like we kept looking at so many homes, unsure of exactly what it is we wanted.
Yes.
And every time we saw something that maybe fit one criteria, it didn't fit the other one. And we ended up, because we didn't have focus, we ended up not buying anything so far.
Yes, but that's not even, yes. So basically, we told our realtor, how much we're looking to spend, but even that had to be like the right house. And our story a little bit different, because the house that we sold in New York, we actually flipped, and we bought from investor as is, and we fixed it.
We did a lot of
work, but we had a great deal because we paid very little amount of money. So when we were looking at fixer-uppers here, we were thinking like maybe we want to buy fixer-upper. They still were asking way too much money even for fixer-uppers, because
the margin was definitely not there.
Yeah, that's when I learned how to calculate, like how much you should offer on the house, and calculate
based on how much it's going to cost you to repair it,
value,
and how much profit you're going to make after that.
So what I want to say, at some point we were kind of like, we were looking with her, we were looking on our own, we were looking on and off, sometimes going to open houses, and kind of like understand the region too, because St. Augustine area is so different. I mean, and you can be like, here it's going to be one school district, and here it's going to be different school districts. So we have kids, so we also want to understand, like, okay, what are we really looking for? And what we don't like, coming from upstate New York, we had no HOAs, no CDD.
Explain what CDD is to people who don't know.
So CDD is a community development.
I forget what the acronym stands for.
So it's like
it's a tax.
It's an extra tax that builders
pass on to you, on buyers, right? And it's kind of like not really sure if it's going away or not going away. So you're kind of stuck with that extra bills that you're paying. And for us, it was like, well, why do I need to pay like this extra money? I mean, it's better school. Well, we also had some good schools in New York,
but then at some point our kids even were going to private school. I mean, it's just there is so much. And so we end up looking at many homes, and at some point, looking at how much your mortgage is going to be and how much you can rent house for right now, it did not make sense. And yes, I know, like, some people will say, well, you're
building equity.
You build an equity
when you are buy that house versus
and
rent is just going into the ether.
And some people will say, like, oh, and it's tax deductible. Okay, whatever. If the price is very high and you just continuously putting money in the house and you're never gonna return it, I don't see the value. For me it's better than, okay, here I live here, then I move out. I mean, it doesn't matter. But it was before I actually was in one of the group coaching sessions where I told that, oh, right now I'm looking for a home to buy for myself or for investment property. And this psychologist asked me, well, this is two different goals that you have, because investment property is one goal and buying a home for yourself, it's another goal. So, and I'm like, oh my God, yeah, she's right. And so she said, well, my recommendation to you is write 5 whys. Why do you want a house for yourself, and why do you want to have investment property? Because also what happened to us, we did make an offer on one house. People did not accept it, but didn't matter. I mean, we knew, like, we don't want to go any higher than whatever they were.
Well, we knew how much it was going to cost to repair that house.
And then we were looking at this home that we were about to make an offer, and we realized, because we thought to use that house for Airbnb, and we realized we don't want to do Airbnb. And it was like the moment of truth that hits you, like, well, wait a second, why did you waste that time to look for Airbnb home and you don't want to do this? So when this psychologist said, like, write 5 whys, we sat down together and we actually wrote 7 whys. Why do we want our own home? And then we wrote 5 whys and criteria. Why do we want investment property? And kind of understanding that, like, what is really investment property for us. So it was kind of an eye-opening, because maybe we would buy different home last year.
In retrospect, all the time wasted looking for a home that would satisfy all of these different criteria that were not even.
I'll open the door. Mm-hmm.
Were not even a fit. I'm gonna pause it.
We got
Sorry,
distracted.
kids came home.
Yeah. Anyway, so we realized that our whys for whatever home was a little bit different for investment property. I mean, we're still not upset that we didn't buy a house last year. And
I think we learned a lot from the process.
Learned a lot, but
and that's
also
the whole point of this.
Yeah, we also realized that there is a lot to see, because we've been driving around St. Augustine region and discovering like all kind of places. Like even yesterday we found where this garbage dump is.
We never knew. We've been down that road many times, but at night where you can't see beyond the like thick jungle that's there. And then we drove during the day and it's like, oh my God, there's a huge dump. Okay, that's where that smell is coming from once in a while. And we realized, oh, look, we were looking at properties nearby. And imagine you're there, then all of a sudden you realize, wow, it smells horrible here. I can't live like this.
Yes.
So
basically this video is kind of, for realtors and for home buyers to understand like really what's your whys, what are you going to use your property for. I mean, if you want to like
let's make that clear.
And another thing for realtors too, your clients not necessarily have to answer to you, I would say.
But to themselves,
but
so
to
they
themselves,
understand.
so they will understand. Because I was thinking, well, we didn't really have like rapport with our realtor. I mean, she's great.
She's excellent. Excellent. And we've been tweaking what we're asking for, and she's been very good to make in making those adjustments to show us closer to what we're looking for. So, but we are cognizant of her time as well, which I don't know if most people are, because I keep thinking how realtors have to drive around forever until somebody gets a house.
Yeah.
So if you were to help your clients do this little exercise where you ask them, hey, make yourself a list. Why do you want this house?
Why do you want to buy a house? So
why do you want to buy a house?
Why do you want to buy investment property?
Or why do you want an investment property?
Yeah.
So if you're looking for both and you think you can look for both at the same time, or one that might fit both criteria, make 2 lists.
Yes.
And see then which one works. And then the learning process of this has been that while we found that a property that we thought was a good investment property, then you went back and you did further research and saw how many of those are on the market right now and they're overpriced.
Yes.
And how many are active as Airbnbs. And it's like, where will we make money? If the margins aren't there on the price of the home and the market is so full of other Airbnbs in the region, well, what were we doing? What were we thinking?
Well, and it's interesting because
that list helped us.
Yes. And it's interesting because last year too, I learned like all kind of terminology for, what is it? REI, return
on investment, ROI.
Return on investments, and what is cap. It's like so many different things. And again, like I never knew about them. I just was looking like, okay, how much money we're gonna put, how much, money we're gonna get every month, and then the question came out like, if we want to sell the house, how fast we can liquidate that too, right? So it's like,
well, that's a big one.
Yeah.
So stick on that for a second, because this was one of the why do we want this on the list, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're looking now on how many are available on the market and how long they sat on the market.
Yes.
So imagine you're buying this property, and now the property we were looking at had been an Airbnb for a while. Mm-hmm. Well, if it's such a cash cow, why is the guy selling it? And he's selling it high, which means I've got no margin because I need to make much more every month to cover my cost for the mortgage if I'm taking out a mortgage.
Yes.
So it's like, wow, okay. Light switch moment, right?
Yes, since I told you earlier in this video that we have a home inspection company, we've seen everything with our own clients as well. And sometimes we've seen where a client's like not ready to buy even a house because it is a big responsibility to own in a home. If you want to run it properly, I mean, it's a lot
properly.
Properly. If you want to, keep your finances where you want it to be, live comfortable, it's a lot. It's a lot to take. So that's why I'm saying, like, understand your clients and and help them to understand themselves.
That's the big point.
Yeah.
Help your clients understand themselves and have realistic goals, mm-hmm. and understand their wants and needs. And look, we've had, like, I recently spoke to a client who's been in her house for a while, and I asked her like what some surprises were, and she said she didn't realize what the cost of owning a house would be and that it would be so high. So of course this depends on the house, the state of the house, how many repairs it needs, what region it's in, do you have seasonal needs that require more money for energy because let's say winters are really harsh, etc. Mm-hmm. But if it's a first-time home buyer, they're not going to have any idea.
Yes.
And if you're a great realtor, you'll ask them, hey, ask for the energy bills from the last owner, just so you can get an idea of what it's going to cost you. So that if you spend your last dollar on the down payment, and you're on a tight budget, are you going to be able to afford, $1,000 for an oil fill? Mm-hmm. Right? Because I don't think you anticipate it's going to cost you $1,000 to fill that tank.
By the way, if you are first-time home buyer, we are working on the project right now to help you guys to understand, how to look for the homes. And Sven is interviewing people right now, so you mm-hmm. can click the link below and get an interview with Sven. and you're gonna help us tremendously with our project.
Well, and through the interview process, I realized that we can both learn from each other because you have access to me to ask questions after the interview, and then some of the questions that I ask may make you think about the home buying process and make you aware and understand that you need to learn more before you start this so that you can save time and money and headache by educating yourself about all the possible things you might see when you're looking at these homes. So that's I think this is very important work that we're doing because we've seen it firsthand how much time and your soul goes into this home buying process. And we've been on the both ends where I've bought and sold 3 homes, and now we're looking for our 4th one.
Yes.
So I don't own the last 3 ones. We sold those, but yeah. But now that we're looking, yeah, we're in your shoes, except we have so much experience looking at homes that I think
with very eyes, with very wide
very
eyes open.
wide open eyes. Yeah. So I don't know if that helps or hinders us. I think it helps absolutely because we're not. Our expectations are realistic, so we know all homes are going to have some issues. It's just that they have to match the price.
Yeah, they have to match, and
Okay.
that's why we made an offer on one of the homes, right? And doesn't matter, it didn't work out.
No, it's for the best.
Yeah, it was the
that
best.
Was, I think.
So yes, that's the whole video.
So that's what ultimately we want to teach you is when you're looking at a house, does it match your needs? Does it match your budget? And is the house that you're looking at, does it have bigger issues that are not reflected by the cost of what it's up for sale at that current moment? Because we see that a lot.
Yes.
We've seen homes where just their central air conditioning system that was beyond its life expectancy needed to be replaced, and it would cost, I don't know, $50,000-$60,000 on bigger homes where they had multiple units. So if somehow you don't get that, that's going to be on you once you own the house, and that's huge.
Yeah.
So maybe it would help you to negotiate. Maybe it would help you to not waste your time with that house if you think the seller is not going to do anything. So you can just move on and look at the next one that doesn't have that problem. Because, hey, you may want the headache and do it. The seller might want to make the concession, and then it's on you. It's still something that needs to be resolved. So versus, too much. I don't have the time. I don't have the patience. I don't want to deal with it. Let's look for a next one. Oh, look, this one's perfect. I don't have to do that. Excellent. Right?
Yeah.
So we'll help you figure that out. So.
Okay.
I
Stay
hijacked
tuned.
your video.
Stay tuned. Sign up for an interview. We're helping you to live better.
Yes. Thank you.